Guys and girls, welcome aboard for a bit of a teecee update. Brakes, dashboard lights, tail lights, and a little trip out in Ruby. Something for the weekend, something for the bank holiday weekend. Just putting some footage together for you now, so join us as we do a bit of a teecee jamboree, a bit of a teecee road trip, and just flicking you through some of the dash pics now before we open the film. So we've been on rebuilding the dash, we've been on building the car up and just getting it roadworthy. He's now insured, ready to rock and roll. Facing off there with Bramble. This is just a few clips I'm putting together for you for something for the weekend. So teecee, something for the weekend. Let's roll it. Welcome back to part 2 of the brake rebuild video on Project teecee. Okay, so we left you off with the front brakes working. Now we're moving our way to the back. So we took everything off and cleaned the shoes up. Took all the springs off. We needed to fit a new slave cylinder here, which we've done, or rear wheel cylinder. There we go. That's fitted because the other one was seized up and the seals were blown out. So this is a new one. And then cleaned up the shoes, light bit of emery paper on those, some new mounting springs here and here, and then hook the spring back. You've got a little adjusting pawl at the back, you can just see it there. That is for, hang on, it's for taking up the adjustment on your handbrake. It's an automatic adjuster and it clicks. When you pull the handbrake on, it takes up the tension, a little lever pulls down the side there and pushes out this little tubular bar just inside there, which expands the tubular bar. It's got a threaded section in it, turns a little ratchet wheel and then takes the slack up in the shoes. Another spring at the bottom holding them tension together on the heel. Here, there's the heel of the shoe, just there. So I put a couple of new mount springs on it, put a new cylinder on there, and the brake pipes themselves are no good. As we undid them off the cylinder, they shattered. New gloves coming up in a minute, don't worry. So 2 new brake lines to go on now, then we can bleed through. The other side's been treated exactly the same. Took it apart, checked it out, and now the rear drums are ready on teecee. So if you're doing this one at home, if you've got how it all lays out, this is roughly what it's like. That spring does actually touch the adjusting wheel. You'd think that it wouldn't, but it does. They all seem to do that. You can adjusting wheel, as I said, you've just set that so that when you put your drum on, it's a snug fit. And you should hear it click up when you apply the handbrake, and it'll take up any tension, any slack. The way that it works, the handbrake lever's coming in at the bottom here. There's the handbrake lever here, it's coming in at the bottom, lands on this operating lever. There's a separate operating lever just behind there, held on with a little horseshoe clip, you can see. This is also covered in the Ruby videos in a bit more detail. That lever activates another little arm, which is a ratchet wheel and tooth rack and pinion, turns that little knob, that little knurled wheel, which travels on the threads, which increases the length of the bar, which pushes out the brake shoe into the drum. And then if it is fully out, it can't move anymore, and it takes the tension up on the spring itself. So once these are locked out, then the rest of the force applied is lost on that little spring. So it takes a little bit to get your head around that setup. But I believe it's pretty standard on a lot of Girling brake systems, so not just Cortina. So it's not particularly specific to Cortinas, although some of these springs and parts will be. But the principle of self-adjusting handbrake is pretty much across the board, if you want to do a little bit of research on it. But we're all together there, emery paper up on the shoes, new brake lines then. No, I'll say new brake lines. I've got some ones which I'd already made up for Ruby and didn't use, or were actually off Ruby that had been replaced at some point. Basically some very good brake lines. Once we fit those brake lines, I can then apply the easy bleed and we'll bleed out the system, and we should have functioning rear brakes. So first job for me, fit the two brake lines for the back, the one that joins the two rear wheel cylinders together, and then the actual input of fluid itself on this pipe linking across. Off we go for that. New brake lines going on, teecee, brake refurbs coming to an end. And we're also including in this video the headlights, so we've got some electrical work as well. The brakes is not going to take up a full film. You're right in at the beginning. Welcome, let's keep on going. Okay, all them brake lines are now on. We've got some new lines going right away across the back there, all the way across the axle, and joining up at the other cylinder, and then going on to the flexi hose. So we've replaced the entire run, and now the easy bleed's connected. Just look forward there on your screens, and the easy bleed's connected as in part one of the brake videos. So that system's now under pressure, so we then start looking out. The lines are all now under pressure, so we can start looking out for any leaks. I've just initially let it go, there's a lot of air coming out. Here we go. We're going to see the fluid, and we're going to be going. Same as last time, bleed away. A bit tricky on the camera with one hand. There's the air. Sorry about that camera angle then, I missed it for you. Okay, the sheep are agreeing with me. Right, so I just bleed this side exactly the same way. Right, okay, so we're just bleeding the back now, just the same as we did the front. And we'll go under and check for any signs of leaking or anything, but there's our fluid going in. So a lot of muck coming out there, as you can see. And we're looking particularly for air bubbles in the tube, none yet. I'm going to open the spanner up a little bit more, just to get the rest of it flowing faster. Hard to do with one hand. Gonna try. See if I can get you in. Right, that's it, we're opened up a bit better now. Just letting it go through. So same as the front, bleed that up and then put the wheels back on. We'll just see how it looks. Should have brakes all around now. So that's the back brakes done, hopefully. We'll just check the pipes, as I said, the brake lines for any corrosion further down, any leaks. I'll leave it under pressure while I have a little look around. So back done then. Okay, so we're going in here now, just showing you that we've put these new ceramic headlamp plugs on the back, because the original ones were just corroded out, totally gone. So you can get these off of eBay, and you just splice them in. I've heat shrink and soldered these in. So you've got earth, high beam, dip beam, and then a side light bulb to connect. The original Ford side light bulb lamps won't fit into the new Lucas ones that I've got, so we've just gone across and soldered those in there. Now we're looking at the regulator. Let's say the regulator, it's the dynamo control box, what they call the voltage regulator, current and voltage regulator. It's not working properly, so I'm just investigating it there now and taking some brick acid on a toothbrush. Excuse me, brick acid on a toothbrush, and then we run that onto them terminals there, the Lucar terminals, two different sizes, and then you'll see how straight away that brings the copper right back. So brick acid's really good for when you've got mucky terminals like this. So see how the toothbrush just goes in. We'll pull the spades back off as well. Done it with the spades on just so I can clean both at the same time. I'll clean those up, and then we're going to investigate the voltages on this and see why the regulator's not kicking in. I've got a feeling they've not put the wires on right. One of them does the field windings on the dynamo. So we're on the underside there now, cleaning that side up. You can see those little tubular shaped things. They're ceramic resistors. They're sort of a wire wound resistor, a bit like a heater bar element that you have, those old heater elements. Bar fires, I would say bar fire. And I think they're to do with regulating the current and voltage when the temperature changes. Something to do with consistency anyway. I'm going to Google that a bit more. Then we go on to the exhaust, and we're now going to fit the exhaust. Time now for teecee's exhaust. Done them lights. So the front lights are done. I'll take you around them in a minute, but look at this mess. The exhaust box totaled at the back. teecee's exhaust gone. Just a swinging mess under there. So we've got a new one just here. Got to cut the old joint. It came off alright. Little tip, if you ever try to pull the last little section out, slice the end of the tube if you can get to it. This had the collar on here, my hand being the collar. Just a little slice down, bit of a whack in the back, a whack at the back, and that was out. So it's now time to stick the exhaust on for a little bit of a quieter run. Not much left of the old one. So slot that in position now for a bit of a quieter run in teecee. Tighten up the handbrake, just needs the handbrake cable tightening up. We go under there and nip that handbrake cable adjuster up. We should have a handbrake. Done them front lights, as I said, take you around, we'll see the lights in a minute. Just get this exhaust slotted on and have a brush up because it's got messy pretty quick. Okay, here's a tip for if you want to make slotting your exhaust on that little bit easier on your Cortina. You'll notice I've got the car on axle stands. I've just put 2 more axle stands in front of the swinging arms just on the chassis forks there. So for that we're going to lower the axle down, which means give more clearance when you're slotting that exhaust tube, threading it over the axle. You can see you just twist the exhaust. When you twist that exhaust you can line it up, but axle at the moment is pushed too high up into the car, so we lower the wheels and axle down, giving us the clearance we need to thread the exhaust through. Little tip I learned the hard way. So axle stands are just at the front here of the swing arms, and that'll let us lower it down now and thread that new exhaust through. Here's the old one, shot to hell. Just a tin can, rusted tin can. That straight away through. Interestingly, I don't know why this is, that the old exhaust had a mount point here, and this is a Ford genuine one that doesn't have that mount point, but it is for this car. It's exactly the same, but it's missing that mount point. It has got one there, and I've noticed a lot of the time there's a spare hanging point on Cortinas. You might have noticed on your 2 litre, and it's never used. So I don't know, they must have stopped using it or something happened, but all my other GXLs don't use this piece. They just work off the back and the centre joint. This is the only time I've ever seen it used, and that explains what it was for. So some exhausts have that extra mount piece. I'm not really sure why that is. It should work without it, but you can always slot on a saddle clamp with the bracket on a saddle clamp if it's needed, but I don't think it is. Certainly on all my other cars never use that piece. There'll be a reason for it. I'm not sure what it is, of course, but we'll worry about that another time. I want to keep moving today and show you those lights, and we should have a quieter running engine now, and then get the handbrake working good. Looks like all 4 brakes work and lock up, so we've done the wheel cylinders as part of this brake and electrics refurb. Hoping to get teecee on the road pretty soon. Let's get it insured, sharpish, then book it for MOT so we're legally allowed to drive it to the MOT station. The odds of it passing the MOT are slim, but that's, as long as the car's not in dangerous condition, we can perfectly drive it to the MOT station. I'm going to make sure that it's not in dangerous condition, that there's no sharp pieces on the car, that the lights work, that the brakes are all good, and I'm satisfied the brake lines are good, the battery's secured, the fuel tank and fuel lines are all okay. We'll go through, basically, I'll download an MOT checklist, and I'll go through my own MOT checklist with it as close as I can. Wipers, lights, electrics, indicators, the lot. And we'll just get everything that we can physically do ourselves done, and then that gives us a chance of taking it out on the road. I want this car, tyres, brakes, everything, all as best that we can with all the skills and parts that I've got here at Cortina City. I'm not saying I can get it to pass, but I should be able to get it close. I'm sure I can get it really close. If not totally, I think the inner sills will fail. They have got them, as you know. We're gonna fit them, so we can't drive it to the workshop to fit them unless it's got en route for the MOT, so it's a little bit of a catch-22. But I'll make sure it's done legally and correct, and that it's insured and everything. Don't worry, because if I don't, I'll only get complaints about it. Fitting the exhaust now, slotting it through, lowering the axle down. Loads of clearance now. That's your little tip from the top. Don't go too far, your springs will pop out. Join me upside down under the car in tight spaces. I've already oiled up with some WD the input to the middle section, so it's just slotted in quite nicely. You'll just see it there. So threaded over that lowered axle. Sorry about the shaky camera work, this is a one-handed job. Over there we go, look. And then it's looking like it's offering up nicely up here. That rubber mount there, there's your top mount. Oil, a little bit of oil on these to help it slip into the rubber. Get your exhaust rubber mount ready. A little bit of a tricky job. Look at the state of me. Hold on. Upside down under here. But it's not too bad. Let's have a little bit of commentary under the car. How's it going so far? Look at the state of my hair sticking out. Oh my god. Bit of a Mohican going on today, guys. Yeah, so these are the times I like to have a little sleep. You just get comfy in these positions under the car. Have you ever done it and then you just sort of have a nice little rest under the car? I do it a lot. But don't do it unless you've got good axle stands going on. Could be dangerous. If your jack slowly goes down and you're asleep. No, 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 no. No. Right, enough of that. Let's get hooked up and bolted up, clamped up. We should be running good. Exhaust going on then, TC. Okay guys, there's our lights in. Dip, side and main beam working, it's all tested. So those units run. Those new Lucas ones there. Great stuff. So we've tidied up some of the wiring as well. We've put new ceramic bulb connectors on the back. Hopefully the light can pick up in here for you. On the back of that there you'll see a new plug they needed redoing. So we refitted the plugs on these with ceramic ones off eBay. It's just that 3-pin plug across to the other side. Don't know if you can quite see in there. Plugs and wiring, a bit of heat shrink and soldered on the new plugs and new side light bulbs. The alternator, the dynamo's not charging at the moment, but it is getting a bit better. It's starting to fade the light out as you rev the car. I never did that before. I've tried to put some some magnetism back into the field windings. Dynamos are different than alternators. I'm still learning about them, but you can check if your dynamo's working. Take the slack and the fan belt off, and then you join the two wires together at the back and connect them to positive, and it should run as a motor, which this does. That only leaves the fault being in the regulator control box. I've cleaned everything up, cleaned all them contacts there, a little bit of acid or brick cleaner and a toothbrush, then just a cloth to wipe off the residue, then some special gel protector on, and looked inside it. The module and contacts look okay, but it still could be faulty. I've no real way of checking exactly how that works. So we'll keep our eyes on the charging situation. Brakes all seem okay, no leaks on the brakes. We need to tighten the handbrake up. I'll do that now, get it back on the axle stands again. Just dropped the oil again last time, double check the level. There was a bit too much oil in this, so I just dropped it all and started again with fresh oil. And then I'm going to see how nice and quiet it is, if it's a lot quieter now with the exhaust. Okay, so lights, exhaust, side lights, hopefully we'll get the charging system going. Indicators are okay. Needs a horn next, so we're going to wire a horn up. We'll go find one in the spares. So going through that MOT checklist now, trying to get as much stuff as we can, as much safety in the car as we can do. Alright, so TC on a sunny Saturday afternoon in the workshop. Ruby and Swampy rolled out of the way. I'm going to clean the garage floor up for all the rusty exhaust parts. But I'm pleased with those lights there. They've worked out good from Lucas. So also need to get some charge into this battery, because we've been doing a lot of stop starts on this. testing the lights and that. I'm going to stick the charger on next and get some top-up charging now, because I'm not 100% that it's charging off the dynamo. We'll have to look into that situation, dynamo situation. Okay, oil level, dipstick check now, and then we're done for the oil swap. It's handbrake adjustment next.
That's a bit. Get down there and see how that hooch is. Could not see my hooch. Get down the farm. Fucking hell, what a boss. Feels a bit sloppy. Feels a bit floaty. What's that clicking noise?
Sounds like someone's rubbing, doesn't it, on brakes?
Good honest motoring. Temperature good. Shit, you used to be able to turn around here.
I'll jump out, shall I?
Good honest motoring. Cheap as well. Got heat.
Got heat.
Wilmington.
Yeah, to a little bit, yeah. See what... Okay.
Got heat back on. Don't know how, but feel that.
Nice.
I think the engine's knackered because when it's ticking over, the oil light's flashing. It needs like, 500 RPM and you've got a low oil pressure. Unless the oil switch is knackered, but I doubt it. It's not knocking though. It's a bit bouncy than what I'm used to, sort of like wallows. Let's turn that off because it messes with the sound. It's a bit wallowy. Brakes just need another bleed. They're a bit far down the pedal. Temperature's holding though. It's just a bit wallowy from, it's like a boat really. This ain't the smoothest of roads anyway. There's no annoying whines, rattles, dings or bongs. Yeah, right. Bloody power. Handbrake, nice. It ticks over alright, just that oil pressure there, look. It's that low RPM, so it's a weak engine I think. Let's see how it looks under the bonnet after that run. Let's film under there. throwing some smoke out. There, look at that. Wow. That's like an engine about to die to me. Woo! I didn't know I'd lock that back down. I didn't know I'd lock that cap back down. Sounds like an acid bath in there. It's not used any water, the airlock's gone. I think we'll call it a day, mate. Quick while we're ahead.
Join us, TC's first road trip. We hope you're enjoying this summer drive. TC's on the road. We're road testing now, making sure everything's tickety-boo. TC, TC. Just good honest motoring. Just inside TC now, and doing the dash light bulbs there. Took the cluster out. Here's our cluster. Just going to put in some standard bulbs, not doing LEDs. Got that out, give it a clean up as well. Just dust it out inside. There's an old bulb rattling around there as well. So I'll give it a clean out inside. If there's any dust, it just makes it brighter when it's lit up. You can hear TC now ticking over very nicely, and the dynamo's now fixed. We've got full electrics on. Nice airflow as well, and nice red hot heaters. Really warm. Very nice heating actually. Quite as good as any other Cortina I've got actually. That I'm surprised there. So I'm quite pleased with the heating situation. And the engine, I did a little adjustment on the idle mixture screw and the tick over, and it sits very nicely. It just ticks over. We've been out for a little spin. It's going to need top and bottom ball joints, possibly track rod ends. It feels a little bit of play in the rack there. I've got a rack if I need one, but I can feel a little bit of play. Could be a bulb, track rod end, a couple of bulbs as I said, some suspension work to do. Engine's smoking, so really that needs taking out and fixing. We're just going to work our way through it really, the car, so keeping you updated. Them headlights are on, brakes are all running good, handbrake's nice on 3 clicks, just nice. Adjusted all the drum adjusters at the back, so the handbrake's nice and tight, locks both wheels up really well. The front brakes are great, they're bedded in a little bit better now, new pads. So we're taking it little by little. We're insured, logbook's been sent off for, so we're all legal to use the vehicle. Declared as no MOT, although I'm going to take it in. At the moment we're all okay and good to go. Not quite sure how I stand legally, simply because although it's exempt, it's not actually been officially recorded as it's exempt. So today we were off to the MOT station. They said bring it to them, so in my opinion I was taking it to them, so that's how I did that. I know the MOT guys, they said okay, yeah, bring it up. I actually didn't make it, I actually brought it home, so we'll have to rebook another MOT appointment, the closest one of course. So keeping you updated on TC. Over and out for now. Rear lamps all done. I actually am running LEDs in the back, so those lights are repaired. You'll see they're nice. With new bulb holders and all soldered up nicely. And then we've got LED stop and tail, normal indicator bulbs. So I just wanted to make sure you can be seen, you can stop, you can see where you're going, keeping it safe. Bodywork wise, you're asking for a pull of course, but we're getting better and better all the time. TC's moving his way up. Join us then in the night time for some nighttime fun with TC. As always, watching over Bramble there, testing out the new bulbs that were fitted in the dash. Took the dash out, give it a little bit of a refurb. Camera coming into the dash now for you, engine running, heaters on to keep me warm in the midnight hour. Just thread the camera through the steering wheel so we could look at just the standard illumination of the Cortina base or L dash setup. Refreshingly nice. You forget how good they are once you just give them a little bit of a 1-2 buckle my shoe, a bit of a refurb. Look at the temperature sitting nicely there, and listen to TC ticking over now, because we've actually got an interior light as well. I just got distracted there by the interior light. TC's getting all these systems up and running, but look, it's quite nice to just take in the old school feel of the dash with the incandescent bulbs, just your standard bulbs, your wedge bulbs. We bought ourselves a whole new pack of bulbs just like this, even using TC's light now to help us with the video editing process. Enough light there from just your standard bulb setup, so we're all old school, no fancy ruby LED frills here. Exactly how it was, tough and difficult in the 70s. We sit in the car after doing the electrics, and the road test that you just saw, quick clip of me there out on the open road, we're all insured, and each day we're off for an MOT. It takes an MOT every day. Fuel gauge, we've got that going. It was a bit seized up, but we put plenty of fuel in, and the car just holds nice. We've got all the electrical features running. We've got wipers, we've got wash wipe. I think you saw that anyway, but we have got wash wipe, manually operated. Just look at that winter's evening in rain there now, quite atmospheric. One for Andy the lens and the angle. Let's bit of an art to operating the foot pump. Just give it a squeeze with the left foot there, and you can just control the pressure. Quite good actually. Very analog, very organic and analog. I'm used to all fancy features. I've been spoiled. Let's try the high beam, guys. Oh yeah, we go high beam. So those Lucas units are in, and they're in nice. We're indicating as well. A lovely indication system running. We've got that very nice click sound from the bimetallic strip flasher unit. So all dash lights done. I'm going to take you outside to the tail lights in a second. So it's a nighttime view. We're not going to go for a drive just yet. Alternator, we've managed to find out how to fix that. Not alternator, dynamo. I managed to find the fault. That was with the rectifier unit. That was with the resistors that are used to control the actual variant current. There's some resistors on there, something to do with temperature. One of them was broken, so I made a little wire link across, and the alternator dynamo cracked into life. It's showing a faint glow, so there is a slight fault on the dynamo, Lucas dynamo control box. I'm going to get another one anyway. So that's that. Trying to think if there's anything else. The engine smokes, so we think it's the rings, although it gets less and less. And I've been getting a lot of flashing oil lights, but it's stopped doing it. Today, no flashing oil light at low tick over, low revs. We're at low revs now, and it's not even trying to flicker that lamp. I'll show you that it actually does work. You see what I mean? So our oil pressure, hold on. Our oil pressure's improved because out it goes. Ah, it's just trying to come in now. See? But it's got better and better. So why is that? I don't know. Normally at this low tick over, we've adjusted the mixture screw on the carburettor as well and got ourselves a better tick over. So really, the car engine itself, you go on your choke. I'll tell you what, I'll give you something to be looking at while I'm chatting, because otherwise you're all in the dark. Have a look at some gauges while I'm chatting. Ah, you know, you say that and then look what happens. There's that oil light. Now I've not been getting that light at all recently, and now it's come in. It's only at the very low revs you get it. Just when the engine dips down. So have we got a duff engine? I mean, it does smoke. So opinions on that please, on that low oil light reading. Dynamo running good because it's able to, there's no dimming of the lamps, and we go for a full electrical test now. So heaters on, and the heaters are fantastic by the way. Red hot. And pretty good airflow, pretty good fresh air too. Wipers on then. So all good to go. So nighttime electrical test on teecee. Put him through his paces, everything electrical that we can think of, even the brake lights on. Now I'll take you to those lights, because they're LED. We'll see what you think about the LED lights in a minute. Sorry about the noise from the fan. You'll see the oil light now is back in as it's been doing, so it hasn't improved really. It drops in, maybe when the engine gets warm and the oil's a bit thinner. So it's right on the threshold. The oil pressure's right on the threshold. So I would say that the engine's tired. Unfortunately, we keep trying to kid ourselves in true Mark style. Mark R, Mark R, if you're watching, that everything's alright, so we're in denial, and it's not alright, the engine's knackered. What a shame, because it's right on the edge of being a great little piece of kit. I mean, the carburettor's fine, but look, we just can't keep it away. Look, if only. Just floats in when the engine's warm. And the oil, so it must be just on the threshold. Maybe the oil pressure switch, but I doubt it. I mean, we could do it getting an oil pressure reading. It doesn't knock though. It just smokes. 1977 then for teecee, and ongoing with this video. I'm going to take you to the lights now. We'll just switch the engine off. I'll take you around, silent running. Just grab myself the ignition key. So out we get. Out we get. Let's go and have a look at the lights. We know about the tail, front side lights, round to the front. Okay, and then look at these tail lights at the back. Sorry about the darkness. They're nice, aren't they? LED stop and tail. LED reg plate lights, and the other stop and tail. So a nighttime view, a daytime drive for you. How much more do you want in this little short clip? I don't know. We're getting closer bit by bit. It just gets closer and closer. So we've got all the brakes working good, as you know. Fuel lines are good. I could do with getting rid of the remold tyres, because they could have had anything on them. They're back from the 70s, so them tyres could blow out at any minute. I've had a heater hose go under the engine bay, but the heater hose was shot to hell. It deserved to go. It was shot to hell. It just split open. That was one of the heater hose to the inlet manifold. Just blew apart. New piece of hose in there. I need to replace all the hoses on the engine. That'll be another more safer bet for when you're driving. What you don't want to do is an overheat. The radiator's good, no leaks, and it's flushed out clean. And we know the engine doesn't overheat when it's just sat. You can leave this sat for an hour ticking over, and you don't. It just stays nicely under 3/4. In fact, why not have a look? We've been ticking over long enough on this video clip to see where that temperature gauge sits on the 1300 engine. Just sits there nicely all day, which is a shame, you know. If only that engine was just inches away from being perfect. You know, it's a miracle it even goes. If you think about it, I got this off eBay as a non-runner, and we've pulled it around and done some good stuff with it. Great little rare base model Cortina Estate 72 L-Reg teecee, as you know. So we've done some good stuff with it in a short space of time. I'd like to get all the front suspension rebuilt, top and bottom ball joints and track rod ends, and the tie bar bushes, and it'll be a bit more solid on the road. So just this little section ending now. This may be the end of the clip. If so, then thanks a lot. If not, there's a little bit more coming up soon. This is nice.